are you a philanthropist?
Right.
Why are you asking that question?
Well, I chair the development for YWCA USA, which is a national board, and as I was talking to one of the board members, we got to talking about philanthropy, and we were discussing how many young people don't believe that they're philanthropists, and what does philanthropy mean? What is it? And there's a big perception that in order to be a philanthropist, you got to write a big check. I mean, that's what you thought,
That's
right?
my perception. I do not consider myself a philanthropist, and I donate. I donate to different causes, but it's like $30 here, $40 there, maybe $100 at a fundraiser. I would not call myself a philanthropist.
Right. But I think of it as your time, talent, and treasure, and the treasure is just the money piece of that. But if you're giving your time and you're donating your skills, your the talents that you naturally have that have value to you, I mean, you could charge for that, right? And so if you're spending your time and you're volunteering for a cause that you care about, and you've done that. I mean, you've actually done marketing for nonprofits. You helped create a logo. I mean, you've done things that were just gifts,
Right.
but they were very time consuming, right? And so, we were discussing that if you're giving and it has value and those things have value, then you are a philanthropist. And the gift is, there's not any gift that's too small to be called a philanthropist. It is the act of giving, the act of goodwill to humanity is really the definition of Webster's. And so if you've done those things and you are doing that on an ongoing basis, then you are a philanthropist. And once you name that and claim that, your thinking starts changing. Like, you want to get to where you're giving more, and so as your resources grow, you naturally give more. I mean, that's what's happened to me in my 30 years of volunteerism. I mean, as I have made more money, I give more money, and I started with just giving time, volunteering, serving on boards, and that kind of thing.
Okay, so tough question.
Okay.
If you had someone come to you and say, look, Riri, I want to donate to your organization, and you have two options. I can either give all my time and talent and skills, of which I have many,
Yes.
or I can write you a big check and walk away. What would you choose?
Well, that's a tough decision. It's gonna depend on your time and talent and skills. More than likely, I mean, I'm gonna go with the time and talent and skills, because if you do that, I know I'm gonna get to the check. I mean, I know.
Okay, that's interesting.
I know I'm gonna get to the check. Now, now that's in the context. If you're talking how big is the check, I mean, it's $1 million, $20 million, then I'll take the check.
Okay.
Right. So again, that's a hard place to land, because most organizations, if you're giving, are nonprofit and they're struggling for money. And so you giving me a check may be how I pay to keep the lights on, how I keep my employees, how I keep the mission work going on. But it would be a discussion, and even if I did take the check, that would not be the whole plan. We would work on the donating of time as well.
Right.
Talents,
So
right?
your theory, the premise is that if you invest your time and talent, it's just natural.
It's gonna be natural.
It's because you're like, you're involved and you care and you see the impact, right? I like when I volunteer, I write checks, but when I actually go and volunteer, I'm like, oh, this is more meaningful, because you see the people you're helping.
Yeah, and you become mission oriented, right? And then you buy into the vision of the organization, and then you're around the people who are benefiting from the service of the mission and the money. And then obviously you want to do more if you have more. That's what happens in the gift of giving.
So just a quick little piece on thought leadership. We challenge you to look at your life and look at your goals and say, am I a philanthropist? Do I want to be?
If you're not, you can certainly start today, and it doesn't make a difference how much money you have, how old you are, because you can begin with the gift of time.
Perfect.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.